Hello and welcome to Parently, where we tap into the unique experiences and perspectives of parents to celebrate the joys and honor the challenges of child rearing. With new interviews each week, this is a podcast for moms and dads seeking an empowering community and a little levity. Now here's your host, Kelsey Higgins.
Hello and welcome to Parently. Today's guest is Michael Grunke. Michael, welcome to Parently.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay, I know we just talked about this, but it does feel weird to call you Michael.
Yeah,
I know you from many moons ago, back when you were a Mike.
Yeah.
So if I slip up.
I really take no offense.
Okay.
You can call me Grunke. Like
Grunke?
they did in the old days.
Can I call you G?
If you want.
Okay.
Might look bad.
Do you draw that? Okay. Yeah, that's fair. All right. I'm really excited for Michael to be on today's episode. Like I said, we go back a couple of decades.
Yes.
Like 2 decades, maybe?
Yes.
1.5?
To a shameful period.
That's not true, is it?
I don't know. It was St. Cloud area.
Yeah, it wasn't our best life. But not everyone listening is going to know anything about you. So why don't we start with a little history? Just tell me about you, where you grew up, your family, kind of what your childhood was like, and bring me to your teens.
I grew up in St. Cloud. My mother's an author with a therapy degree, and then also my dad was a lawyer when I was growing up, became a judge later in life. Now he's a retired judge. I have a brother in St. Cloud and sister in upstate New York.
Awesome.
Yeah. Childhood was really good. It was nice being able to do family vacations and things like that. And my dad used to be a guide up in the Boundary Waters. So when I was really young, we would do a full trek through the Boundary Waters with portages and everything, just everything on our backs. And
wow, yeah. I didn't know you're such a nature guy.
Oh, yeah. It was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Very different than the Four Seasons.
Yeah. Okay, and then I think I want to start our conversation today around you becoming a parent at what is considered a pretty young age, I would say. Yes. So why don't you bring me through kind of your journey to fatherhood and what that looked like, whether that was accidental, purposeful, kind of how you became a father.
Surprised it wasn't purposeful.
Okay.
It was accidental at that time.
And how did you feel about it?
That we were going to go forward with it regardless.
Were you scared?
Yeah.
Excited?
Yeah.
All of the
I would
above?
say all of the above. I would probably more afraid of stuff, but then again, I did sit my parents down when I was really young and tell them that I got a girl pregnant. So once you jump into that fire pit, it's kind of easier to deal with.
And how did your parents take it?
They took it. It was obviously a shock to them, but they were great. Especially later, once Maria was born and everything, they were a huge help. And yeah.
So you were 20?
Yeah, I was 20 when she was born. I just turned 20 the month before.
You were in a relationship with the mom. It
Yes.
wasn't like a whoopsie daisy one night stand. You were in love with the mother.
We got married a month earlier too.
A month before you were.
Before she ended up giving birth to Maria.
Okay.
It was supposed to be more time in between, but she was born preemie. There was issues with preeclampsia, high sodium levels, and water retention, and things that did lead to her having to do a C-section at the St. Cloud Hospital.
Was that a uncomfortable pregnancy for her, or were you kind of unaware of the issues?
I would say it didn't really, the preeclampsia didn't affect her specifically as much. It was like water retention, and then it was obviously affecting her health and stuff, but it wasn't something that like dragged her down every day, I guess.
This is going to drive me nuts.
No,
I'm getting
you're
over a
good.
cough. Sorry for the listeners. I'm going to try to edit out as many of these coughs as I can because that's super obnoxious. Okay, so Maria was born, and was it before she was born or when she was born that you were informed that she might have some differences?
It was before. With the preeclampsia, she was like growth restricted in utero, and she was also being born preemie. So there was lots of different speculation, more speculation than anything else,
Okay.
of what would actually go on once she was born. She was in NICU for like a while after, and yeah, I just remember reading that big book that's like at the end of the bed and stuff, and like every day reading like the nurse's notes and all the different stuff about it, figuring out whatever we could do. But she kept actually like hitting different benchmarks that they said that she wouldn't, and she was like a really cool kid, and yeah. But it was constantly just one thing after another that like gave concern or like worry. But in the end of the day, it was like us hanging out. And
It was your daughter.
yeah.
Yeah. I have to imagine as a father that would be, I don't know, I feel like that would be very stressful. But also you're a new father trying to enjoy being a dad. Like, how did you kind of balance, or maybe you didn't, you just worked through it. Like, what did that look like?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was probably just like you have to just move forward.
There's
You
no other
can't,
option.
Like, wallow in it or anything. And I don't know if it's because we were also so young and whatever, but we did get to have some, I don't know, social workers, but different developmental people come through and do assessments on a regular basis. And they would also, like, I mean, the internet was around, but it wasn't as good
Yeah.
as it is
We're all
right
like
now.
on AIM,
Yeah.
like putting our away messages
if
on.
that. If
Yeah.
that.
Dial up?
Oh, no.
No,
had
it
a
wouldn't have
big
been
old
dial-up.
TV. It wasn't dial-up. Or actually, mine might have been.
Was it?
Yeah, for a
Let's
little
go.
bit in the apartment building. I don't think Wi-Fi was really a thing.
No.
I know I had a tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you couldn't, I mean, that's actually a really good point to make, because right now we're living in this time of like immediate information overload, whatever, but you were kind of just dealing with the information you were given. You couldn't necessarily search out
Yeah.
so much.
If I wanted to really like investigate on my own, I would have had to go to like a library, like a physical place to really, and probably like St. Cloud State Library, and then use one of their computers there to research other things. But yeah, we definitely took advantage of having access to assessors, and then they would give handouts, which like sounds stupid nowadays with the internet, but it was a big deal, and like different games and different things that we could do that like kept her hitting the benchmarks that she needed to get.
So you
to.
took that pretty seriously, and you made sure that you were doing all of
Yeah, for sure.
the activities. And
Yeah.
like, give me an example of what something might look like. Like, what was
There
an
were many
activity?
different things, even like early on, finger dexterity with like Cheerios and different things.
Sure.
But then other like shapes and blocks and like putting them into cups. I would basically try to recreate all the different things that the assessors would also do,
Yeah.
even if it wasn't on the handout and stuff. But yeah, kind of anything to get her mind really going. It was also a weird time too, like looking back on it, screen time was not a concern whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, positive, right?
Yeah, it was a big box TV back in the day. But yeah, I think she watched like Elmo on tape probably like every day
Sure.
at some point.
Yeah. Classic.
At breakfast while I was like cleaning and doing different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the situation, I mean, you were young. You're not a child, but you were
Yeah.
young. So were you living in your own place with your partner? Were you guys at family? Like what was your living situation like?
At the very beginning, we were at my parents' house,
Okay.
which was extremely helpful to like having my mom and like dad there to be able to help with everything. Very much kind of split up some of the work. I was definitely the late shift all the time, but looking back on it, that was some of like the best little things that I had with her.
The best memories.
Yeah, just like early on skin like things, and like her sleeping on my stomach and like chest, and yeah.
What was the most surprising thing to you about being a dad? Was there anything that surprised you?
I think everything was surprising. Yeah, but like I said, it is kind of a situation where you have to put your head down a little bit and just keep moving forward. They ended up settling on the fact that saying she had microcephaly, which was really just the measurement of her skull, like circumference. But we even went down to University of Chicago, to be part of a study for it. And then they just like measured her head and did like barely anything. And it was such...
And you were like, this is bizarre?
It was me and Michelle and Maria, and then my parents all going down there. And it was like, what did we come down here for? Like, what is this?
And you never got any answers?
No, they told us there were no answers to be had. Like, the genome was not being fully, like, was not as understood as it is now. And, like, different genetic markers and testings weren't a thing. But, I don't know, me and my ex-wife come from different backgrounds, too, genetically. So the idea that we both have this recessive trait that somehow we both gave at the exact same time, versus the growth restriction uteral from the preeclampsia, I think it's, at least I understand that it's that.
Mm. So you obviously are very emotional talking about Maria, and I think it will make sense to not that every parent doesn't get emotional talking about their babies. I get emotional when I think about my children as babies, but you experienced quite a traumatic event following Maria's birth.
Yes.
How old was she when that happened?
She had turned like she was 2 and 2 months.
Okay. And if you're comfortable, kind of walk me through what happened.
There was a car accident when my ex-wife was driving. She hit a patch of black ice and spun out and got hit directly on the side by a DHL van. And she got the brunt of it.
Maria.
Yeah. If you only have one kid, put your like child seat in the center. Like, it doesn't work if you have 2 kids, but do it if you got one. Put it in the center; it's the safest place. We never got told that.
I don't think I've ever been told that.
Yeah, it's where the nurses like set up the thing, and it's actually like the preferred placement is usually behind the passenger seat, because parents like to be able to be driving and look back and see the kid, but the safest spot is in the middle.
And it was just your ex and Maria in
Yeah.
the car. You weren't in the car.
No, I was not there. I was waiting to, like, take care of her. I was actually at my parents' house because we had separated, like, probably a month, or not a month, a week before.
So you had a lot going on in your life.
Yeah.
What was that call to you or that notification? How did you find out about the accident?
It's hard for me to place which one specifically came first. I'm pretty sure it was my brother-in-law Carlos calling me at my parents' house and saying that he was driving by, like, the area that we lived and saw a car that looked just like ours in the ditch, and that, like, he wasn't able to get a hold of Michelle. But I don't know. Cell phones were also not, like,
I was just
super
going to ask, did people have cell phones?
We did. It was like T-Mobile stuff. It was
Yeah.
almost like you have to pay a dime a minute type thing. It's
Yeah.
like ridiculous. But it was him, and he saw it and knew that something was wrong. I knew they were supposed to be there, so I knew something was wrong. And then I got a call from the chaplain at St. Cloud Hospital telling me there's been an accident and I should get there as soon as possible. And Carlos and his girlfriend came and picked me up, and we went there.
And that's all the chaplain had told you on the phone?
Yeah. It was mainly, there was an accident, you should get here, which is almost more terrifying than, like, anything.
Mm-hmm. Because you have no idea
Yeah.
what's happening.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind at that point?
Absolute, like, just shock. And, like, you're really kind of disconnected from what's going on and stuff. At least the memory of it feels that way.
Very out of body kind of
Yeah.
a thing.
Because you have, like, specific memories of things, but, like, the in-between isn't really there. We had to drive because she got airlifted to HCMC from St. Cloud, and we had to drive up. And I know my parents, like, drove or whatever, but, like, I don't remember that drive too much. It was just us, like, trying to get there.
And for
not
those
knowing.
unfamiliar, that's like an hour and a half drive.
Yeah, with one of my parents driving, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then she was in the hospital at HCMC for
Maria.
Yeah.
Not
Maria.
not your ex.
Well,
Or
both of them ended up being yeah. Since Michelle was in the car accident too, she had gotten banged up quite a bit. It was not nearly as severe. But also, if they're airlifting a child and, like, the mom was in the accident, they send her in the helicopter too.
Sure.
And, like, so she was getting taken care of in the same hospital. She did get out, like, or released, I want to say, like, a week or so. Again, like, that's kind of like a foggier thing. Because she was, like, hurt, but she wasn't bedridden necessarily, like, and yeah, I'm sure she had back problems and, like, a bunch of stuff after it, but my concern was about Maria and things.
So you get to the hospital, and what do they tell you?
That her brain is swelling, and they need to do a stint in her head to release some of the pressure. And it's basically kind of surgery after surgery to just get her stable before they can really give any information. So, yeah. all you're hearing is, this is what's wrong right now, and we'll let you know if we can fix this thing. They don't want to look too far down the road with things. Yeah. And she was in the hospital, like I said, for a month and a half before she passed. And yeah, they had found that in the accident, she had like severed her brainstem just at like the base of the back of her skull, and she wasn't going to be able to like do anything either way. And it would have, like, even if we had tried to like take her home, or if we put her in a home or tried to do anything, she would just eventually, and this is what a doctor told me, she'll eventually choke on her own mucus and stuff. So we made like the hardest decision to move the feeding tube and like move forward with it.
It's most parents' worst nightmare to have to go.
Oh, it's so bad. People don't
like
want
that.
to talk about it at all. It's a thing.
It's extremely
I'm impressed
traumatic.
at your podcast for talking about such topics. I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
You got some tears on your sweater.
Oh,
It's very
tears on my
sweet.
sweater?
It's very sweet.
Oh, I just got this for
I
Christmas.
love a man who is not afraid to show what you're feeling. I mean, after what you've been through, it's extremely healthy to be able to talk and emote.
Well, yeah. I mean, the tears and emotion are still there. I'm only able to really like talk about it super well right now because of therapy and stuff that I've been doing for like the last 8 months, doing EMDR and different things.
Tell me about that.
That is eye movement desensitization reprocessing.
Nailed it.
Took me so long to remember that.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, with my therapist, I would call it electronic music dance revolution because I thought it was funny.
And she was like, nah, not quite.
No, she loved it.
That's hilarious.
But it was our like shorthand for whatever.
What does it look like? What would a session look like? Because I know friends that have done this. I read a lot about it. I know it's very effective. But I think for those of us who haven't experienced it, it's like, wait, what?
It's really weird. And there are different ways that therapists will go about it. Sometimes, I'm sure if people have seen it on TV, they see the little dots going back and forth, like lights. So it's like a following back and forth. And my therapist does more a hand movement thing.
Okay.
But you kind of focus on the movement while then you're dealing with like questions, and like it's so hard to explain exactly how it works. But for like therapy, especially if there's like a trauma, just having to relive it constantly and like or retell people is like in itself kind of detrimental. So this sort of allows for kind of reprocessing.
What was different for you?
I'm able to like discuss it.
You couldn't even
easier.
talk about it before.
Well, no, I could. It would. I mean, you think I was crying before? You would have seen like more than that, and then also, it's a lot of different stuff. It's essentially all the remnants of like grief, kind of still echoing, and I didn't have like a ton of options for therapy and stuff after the accident. A lot of places that I did try to get therapy at were really bad. And like, I had a woman once, she was able to fit me into her schedule, and during one of our sessions, she leans over to take a bite of her sandwich on Zoom. And then I like hung up on her,
Okay.
and then I never saw her again. Like,
Wow.
she was just eating while I was starting to discuss
Very
Maria. Yeah,
close, important things to you.
that was and it was, again, I hate like to keep bringing up how it was like 20 years ago, almost. But yeah, mental health was even not a thing that people openly discuss. It's still hard for people to openly discuss.
Yeah. Yeah. It is shocking to think about this day and age that you wouldn't have been given some great therapy options. But what led you back to pursue therapy 20 years later?
I was kind of pursuing it all the time. Just because individuals that I had met were bad didn't mean that I didn't think there was stuff out there that I could learn from. I did a lot of horticultural therapy. So I gardened a lot.
Which is, I want to hear about that. Is that something that you came up with, or did you research that? And
No,
you were like, oh.
It is a thing. It's like almost meditative, and you get to kind of bring things to life too, and it mixes in also like a lot. There's a lot of physical labor and stuff, digging, and like it was a long time of me working on that garden. And I'm lucky that I even had a place at my parents' house to like do that after the accident. But yeah, I think my dad would even be upset to admit that it's the nicest garden on the property.
That is the time that we crossed paths in life, because I remember your garden, and I remember you being an avid gardener and showing pictures and I didn't know all of the backstory, and I was like, wow, this guy's really into gardening. Like,
Yeah. And even like with Maria too, I was planting herbs and like doing different pots and stuff like that.
So it's always been something that interested you.
Yeah. That's, again, a thing that I got from my parents, though, too. Honestly, things do taste better if you grow it. It's so stupid to think about how good a potato is when it's freshly grown out of the ground. But, yeah.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was there anything, when you approach it as a therapy, was there anything like different or specific you had to do, or was it just kind of like, this is what I'm doing to help process everything going on right now?
It was, I guess, more putting this unused energy or this misused energy towards something good and tangible. That's a hard thing in therapy too. Even if you are doing a talk therapy and you do it for like 2 years, you don't end up with like a physical thing.
A thing,
at
yeah.
the end.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Every year I got to see like how it moved forward, and it's crazy what it's like right now. But yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right, apparently, listeners, that's all we have time for today with Mike. We'll pick up with him again next week. Thank you for joining today. If you haven't already done so, please remember to subscribe, rate, and review. See you next time.